Hey, yo, flyers! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am the Flying Fabio, and welcome back to the channel. Little nav map, not you. There we go. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it's getting better and better. Hello, Shadow. Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that timing is gonna work. It's gonna work. Hey, Noise Boy Mike, how are you, man? The Pixie, hello. End of the afternoon from the Nordics. Yes. Yes. Hey, Big Eye, how's it going, man? Hello, hello. Yeah. This is funny, man. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. One of these days. One of these days. It's gonna work. She's gonna show up exactly as I say. Hey, yo, flyers. Naga, bom dia, bom dia. Zabiter Gaming, bom dia. How's it going, man? How's everybody doing, guys? Lots of people here already. Hey, Alpha Whiskey's here too. Another TTV viewer is here. Hey, BT Monster is here. Carbo, what's up, man? Crow is here too. Kunoth, what's up? Daniel Cooper, Davey, what's up, Davey? Aspen, Gaston, como estás? Good fixings, hey man, how's it going? How's the app? Hey. Hobbly Gobbly. Nice. Huey TV, Jordan, Mechanical Madness, Moose Knuckle. Moose, you were early today. I saw that, man. Mr. 90, News Spawns. I said hi to Mike, right? Rasta. What's up, Rasta? Bot. Hey, bot. Bots, huh? Hey, Rodolphson, how are you, man? Tarbridge. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, guys. Very nice. Nice to have you guys here. Crusader, what's up, man? Bom dia. Bom dia. Jefferson. Yes, it was. Hey, perfect. Kaboom. Hey, that's great, Jefferson. That's awesome, man. Awesome. Oh, by the way, I spoke with Katie, so I have actually any day besides Wednesday next week. That's right. That's right. Hey, Pahan, what's up, man? Arnav, hello, hello. You mean in the sim? Yes, yes. She likes being in the spotlight. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, the graphics. So I start with high end. I set everything to high end. And then from there, I set a few select things to ultra. I like clouds to... clouds is not called ultra. It's whatever highest setting of clouds. But I do set reflections to ultra. I set the refresh rate of the avionics to high because I think high end sets it to medium. And texture synthesis I set to the highest. And that's about it, really, from the high end. Hello, Vax. How's it going, man? Hey, Tico, what's up? How goes it? Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Shadow. Oh, there you go, DC. There you go. Oh, are you serious, Fort? Oh my God, what? What? Are you kidding me? It is at 4K, right, Fort? Just checking. Crusader, I'm not sure. I am not sure. Oh, DC's overclocking. Look at that. Arnav, I am from Brazil. Originally from Brazil, but I live in the US. I've been living here for 21 years now, I think. It's been a little while. It's been a little while. That is for sure. Loading up at Tambor, guys. Nightbot can help you out. It's a custom scenery. Awesome scenery. You guys have seen it before, right? Because we actually started the lesson here. We're going to pick up where we left off. Today, we get to RNL. Today, we get to RNL. Let's make sure that, yep. Live there. Whoo! 7:10 a.m. Oh, are you serious, DC? Yeah? That's awesome, dude. Well, it could be, Fort. It could be. Actually, Fort, you know what's coming up? We're going to have a CRJ flight out of Denver at some point. Because I have Flight Beam's Denver scenery. As a matter of fact, I also have Flight Beam's Washington scenery. So the flight in the CRJ tomorrow I think it's tomorrow, right? Yeah. It's gonna be flight beam scenery. So I'm really curious because flight beam does excellent sceneries, but I'm curious to see what kind of frame rates I get because they were really good frames in P3D, right? So I'm curious. Whoo! Listen. It is Costa Rica. It is Costa Rica. You know? Citizen, what's up, man? 777, good morning. Yeah, hey. So, you know, Central America. That's pub weather. Yeah, right? Steamy, yes, Alpha. Steamy indeed. This kind of rain in Central America, yeah, man. You actually, you hope the rain doesn't stop, because if it stops and the sun comes out, holy moly, man, this turns into 200% humidity. Oh, really, Thani? No way. Belgium here. Hey, Arnav, that's awesome, man. I've been to Brussels. That's cool. That is cool. Whew. And the battery's still on. Why? We turned it off. I don't get it. I don't know. All the switches were on. Oh no, maybe they were all on when I crashed, weren't they? They were all on when I crashed. That's what it was. That's what it was. State restored. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the Pixie, exactly. That previous pilot, man, those guys suck. Yeah. Alright. Hey, Symbiation boy. Morning, sir. Yeah, DC? Because of your crashes too? Good morning, Speed. Good morning, sir. Let's chill out in the rain, yeah? Ooh. Oh, look at those flaps. Man, that previous pilot. Jesus. All right. There we go. Hey, boom, Scooter, good morning, guys. How's it going? Yes, there is a dude walking, Vex. How cool is this scenery, right?
For 6 months, so long I didn't have the opportunity to watching the stream. Good to see you again, smiley face.
Gandil, so good to have you back, man. That's amazing. Welcome back, buddy. Let's go. Yeah, it buffed out really well, Jefferson. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys are flying the Seneca, huh? How's the Seneca going, guys? Danny, that's funny. Morning, Kyber. Hello, sir. Hello. Yeah, Gandil, thanks again, and I really appreciate that subscription. Alright, guys. I'm gonna retract these flaps. They're mechanical flaps. I don't need even the battery for that, so let's get those guys up. What a noob. Alright, so we are in Tambor right now. Tambor is in Costa Rica. We've been here before, right? A couple of times, actually. And today our mission is transporting a couple. It's a husband and wife. They're tourists, and they want to go to Arenal, the Arenal volcano. We told them the weather isn't conducive to flying today, but they slipped us $200. So, you know, what? I'm just kidding. Oh, Naga, yeah? That GTN is amazing, isn't it? Zobbiter, my route yesterday was straight from the sky into the ground. That was my route yesterday. Oh my god. Yeah, Fort. Yeah. In a world where Fabio takes bribes. That's right. So, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if we decide to launch in this kind of weather. from an obviously VFR airport. I don't know if you guys remember this airport or not. Do you guys remember this airport? Well, it's highly VFR. Highly VFR. Here's what I mean by that. Trees, 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 trees. Oh, that's the end of the runway here with, yep, you guessed it. More trees, a hill, trees. Right. And the other way, well, we got the runway into nothingness. And if you get to the end of the runway, which is very lovely, surrounded by hard trees, end of the runway is, well, that's the water. This is the beach. Those are rocks. Yeah, that's where we are, boys and girls. Welcome to Tambor, Costa Rica. All right. So, yeah, we're gonna launch out of here, and we're gonna have to find Arenal volcano. All right. So let's have a look at a map and start to figure out what's what's really gonna happen here. Let's just hang out at the beach, right? Vex, much better decision. Much better decision than the dumb pilot that's gonna take this plane up today. That dude. No booms. No, but I know somebody that was. I know somebody that was. But I have a question for you guys first. All right. Let's see what you guys say. Oh, there's over 100 of you guys already here. Hey, hey. Hello, everybody. Holy moly. Holy moly. Okay, here we go. Let's see what you guys say. Oh, nice aviation. That's awesome, man. It's a great flight tomorrow. Great flight over the Appalachian Mountains. Well, I mean, we're going to be in Motor City, Detroit, down to Washington, and then over the Appalachians into West Virginia, a place I've never been to before. Not West Virginia, I mean the airport. Can't even remember the name. I know, right, DC? I know. Hey, Sappy, what's up, man? Moat! Hello, hello, hello. Oh, Fort, I used to ride motorcycles. Man, West Virginia. Exactly, Vex. Those roads in West Virginia for bikes. Oh, man. Whew. Yes, Fort. I have to agree with that. Unfortunately, I have to agree with that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Poll is over. Old school, 85%. You guys are my people. That's awesome. All right. So that's what we're talking right here, guys. Right here. This is how we're going to get to Arenal today. Right? We could do something like that. We could even be super preppy and go that way. Right? Awesome. But no. Nope. We're going to go this way and not even turn on that GPS. Yes. You guys rock. You guys rock. That's awesome. That's fantastic. All right. All right. So let's figure out where we are. Shall we? Shall we? All right. Well, we are at Tambor. We know that. But where is Tambor? Tambor Beach, yeah. So let's zoom out a little bit and get a context. All right. Oh, looks like the plane was ferried here from Germany, and we're now going to fly it locally. All right, guys, I need some experts here because you guys know all of the keyboard shortcuts for this program. What is the keyboard shortcut to delete my previous route? That's a flight tracker, whatever you want to call that. I also want to change that to a red line instead of a dashed black line. Let's see. Let's see. DC, I'm a big fan of the GTN 750. I love that thing, man. I love technology, but I love old school too. I need more time in the day to be able to do everything I want to do. That's really what it is. Arnav, I used to fly, then I went to teach for a while, and then now I'm a full-time streamer. All right, let's see here. I am gonna try and change my line, that dashed black line. I'm gonna change that. There we go. Color is gonna be red. And it's not going to be dashed, it's going to be solid. Boom. All right. We got that. Now I need to delete it. Booms. Yes, I did. I didn't know they had that, but the latest version. So when I installed everything here in the computer, right? I installed the latest version. And in the latest version, they even tell you, like, hey, if you have Navigraph, choose this option. So yeah, pretty awesome. That's awesome, Arnav. Hey, that's great, dude. That is great. 738, awesome aircraft. Awesome aircraft. Love that avionics. As you know, we have that PMDG and P3D, right? I flew a lot of that too. Hey, aye, sir. Morning, sir. Doing well. How are you? They bought a bunch of Maxes, DC. I don't know if they got them yet. But that's great, Arnav. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Hey, Skippo. Up in North Yorkshire, where I live in the UK, he has been filming the new Mission Impossible film. No way! Are you serious? That's awesome, man. That's really cool. That's really cool. I respect that dude. I respect that crazy. He's a crazy bastard, but I respect him. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Yes. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, guys, our flight today, we're gonna input it here. It's gonna start here in Tambor, and it's gonna go to where the Arenal volcano is. And that's over here, close to La Fortuna. I don't know, well, I mean, we will have the database of Little Navmap right now is actually the database of the sim, right? So you can have Little Navmap, comes with a basic database, but you can have it read the actual database of your sim. So all the airports that you see here are actually airports that pulled from Microsoft Flight Sim. So if it's in Microsoft Flight Sim, it's going to show up in here, right? Okay. Let's see. Not this one. Not this one. This one here. There we go. Okay. All right, cool. So let's put in a flight plan here, right? So Tambor is going to be our origin. So we're going to go set airport Tambor as departure. You can't see my context menu here. Just right click on the airport. I get a little menu, right? Bunch of options. One of them is set airport Tambor, MRTR, as departure. Okay, so now that's our departure. I need to go put in the destination, which happens to be right here, MRAN. So I right click, add that as destination. There we go. All right, so short flight, right? But we're not here just to do this flight. We're also here to learn a little bit about VOR navigation. Continue what we've already learned. Lesson 1, if you guys were here, right? We learned a lot about how VORs actually work. First of all, how we navigated before VOR, we talked a little bit about that, and it even generated a, I think you guys recall that, right? Generated an idea for a future stream where I'm going to cover the history of aeronautical navigation, which is fantastic. So we learned how VORs work. We learned about radials. We learned about the CDI, the needle, right? We learned about the OBS, the ring around it. So we learned a lot of stuff. But today we're going to put that stuff into practice. And to do that, what we've decided to do is instead of flying straight from Tambor to Arenal, what we're going to do is we're actually going to come over here, and Tango India Oscar is a VOR that happens to be close to San Jose, Costa Rica. So I'm going to use that as add to flight plan. Oops, add to flight plan, the VOR. There we go. All right, so really this is our flight today. We're going to take off from Tambor. We're going to fly. Looks like it's a 7-1 magnetic to the VOR, so we have to figure out what radial that's going to be. And the course 2 is 7-1. What's the radial, right? And then once we fly over the VOR, we're going to take a different radial out to fly over RNL. And we'll see if we can get some decent weather when we get to RNL. All right, now you can see here the profile view on the bottom already shows some pretty high elevation, and it highlights there where that elevation is. This program is amazing, by the way, Little Nav Map, right? Don't know if you guys use this or not, but if you don't use it, you're missing out. All right, so it already tells me that, look, 8,000 is the minimum I should try and fly this flight at. I have currently 10,000 in there, which I think is a wise idea. So we're going to go at 10,000 today. We're going to climb to 10,000, fly over that terrain. Terrain here is going to be about 6,200, 6,300 feet. So and we have quite a bit of clearance here. And we'll see if we see a hole in the clouds and try to fly VFR approach into RNL. So that's our flight for today. Very good. Very good. Hello, Red Lucky. What's up, man? How's it going? Hey, New Skies. What's up, buddy? Look at that. Aye, aye. That's amazing. 6-month subscriber. Aye, aye. Awesome, dude. Hey, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Negative DC. That's a solid negative. Solid negative. Which means we have to have a lot of fuel for this trip, right? A lot of fuel for this trip. Okay. Are there any good tutorials out there? Yeah, Steel Rain. Here's the thing, Steel Rain. It's one of those. It's a very popular program. It's hard to use fully. So combine those two. There's a ton of tutorials on YouTube. So it's hard to recommend one or the other because there's a lot of them, right? So search YouTube for good tutorials. I'm not going to be the one that teaches you, at least not now, because I don't know much about Little Nav Map. I use it very basically. So whatever I know, I can show you here, right? But it doesn't even scratch the surface of what this program can do. Excuse me. Are we having a break in today's stream? Also, I need to go to the groceries, but I don't want to miss anything important. Yes, Larger Life. So we are going to have a break. That's something that I've been trying to do in more streams, right? Is break it probably after about 2 hours. So today, yeah, we're going to have a break right around, that's going to be 1500 Zulu or so. Okay? What do you find difficult, DC? I'm trying to figure out here. Oh, Little Nav Map. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Larger. That's awesome, dude. I love that you're timing your groceries with the break. That's perfect, man. That is perfect. Okay, so that's our flight, right? Now, let's have another look at that map. Just a map. There we go. Okay, so what is the radial that we're going to have to intercept when we take off out of Tambor, guys? What are we talking here? Yeah, I got it, DC. Yeah. Thanks. Hey, by the way, Julius, thanks for the follow. And Liz, the noob man. Hey, thanks for the follow too. I appreciate that. It is fantastic. No one knows the radial here that we need to intercept to get to this VOR. Right here. So we're here. Our magnetic course 2, according to Little Nav Map, if we just take off and fly 7-1 on our mag compass and there is zero wind, or the wind's exactly from the front or the back, meaning the wind's not shifting us sideways, right? Then we're going to fly over the VOR after 48 miles. Okay, there we go. There we go. So, shuffle shoes. Ramso, hard day's night. Nice job. Nice job. Moose. 074, well, in this case, 071 is what mine's showing here, right? That is the course 2. Remember, that's the confusing thing about when we talk about VORs, right? Here's how I remember it. It's kind of silly, but it works for me. You got to find something that works for you. Maybe this one does. Maybe you find something else. I know the radial is from the VOR because to me, because of the name radial, it has to radiate, and you only radiate from, you don't radiate to, right? Something radiates. So there's radials coming out of the VOR, which means when I'm flying to the VOR, right, that heading I have flying to the VOR is not the radial, because I'm going to the VOR. Radial can only come from the VOR. That's why you saw people in chat reversing that 7-1. They added 180 to it, and they got 251. So this yellow line right here coming out of the VOR onto Tambor represents the 251 radial from that VOR. It happens to fly right overhead Tambor, right? There's a bunch of other radials. We're just not highlighting them here. Some are flying over other airports. Some are, they don't care what they fly over. They just care that they go in a straight line from the VOR. And there's one for every degree around the compass, from 0 to 359. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, got that. Now, let's figure out how do we follow that in the cockpit, right? Okay, let's get back in there. Let's get stuck in it, boys. Maybe not. Yeah, pretty amazing, right, DC? But it doesn't cross the Darien, DC. Nothing crosses the Darien gap. Oh man, 500 points and a chance to get into the bonus round. No looking it up. What is the Darien gap? Craigie baby, hello. Hey, Azamin, what's up? Well, Azamin, again, we'll see. We don't know if we're going to make it, but these clients are paying us good money, so we're going to try. So, we are going to use IFR to get there because we're going to use this VOR here to find that airport. That's the other reason we're not flying straight, right? How are we going to go straight without GPS? So we have to fly over the VOR, then back out over that airport. Okay, when we get there, look, this is far enough from here and over some terrain that the weather could be different there. Could be the same, but it could be different. And if it is different, maybe we can land. If we can't land, hey, that's fine. We can turn around, come back. We can come back to Tambor. Well, we're going to have enough fuel for that. It's just not a big trip, right? It's 48 miles here, 36 miles there. So that makes what? 84 miles. So round trip, less than 200 miles, no worries. We can even land at San Jose if we want to, If the weather's really bad everywhere, we don't think we can get back into Tambor, then we land in San Jose. So that's the plan. Yeah, Santi, for sure, man, for sure. Hey, Alpha Whiskey, what's up? It's the cause of the union of Scotland and England's parliaments. The Darien Gap? Pablo Escobar, client perhaps. Tell you what. I'll show you who probably is. Oh my god. I had seen this video already, but it's just hard. It's hard to believe, man. Just people are incredible. Just, hold on. Let me get it ready. Was it that one? I think it was. Hold on, let me just make sure I got the right one here. I think it is this one. Yep. Yeah, check this out. Yeah, Scooter, me too, to be honest. Me too. All right, so check it out. But don't worry, guys. I'm sure it's not drugs. I'm sure it's not drugs. By the way, that plane was found landed and abandoned on a road. I think somewhere in Louisiana or somewhere south, right? And of course, the interior, there's no seats or anything. It's just a hollow cockpit or a hollow cabin, hollow fuselage where they just shoved a bunch of drugs in. It was drugs, says DC. Oh my God. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. But we are here for VORs. Okay. Yeah, look at that focus. Look at that focus. That's right. That's right. Okay, so we are going to use a good old VOR receiver right here, a NAV1, together with this guy, and even this guy, because we got the fancy version. We got the fancy version of the Arrow with the HSI, right? Because you can have the old, come on, baby. You can have the old version without that. Look, you can just have a DI. Oh, then all you got is this guy, which is fine. Maybe we should go that way. Maybe we should go that way, right? Am I right or am I right? Yeah, booms, exactly. Show us your cabin. Well, mine has seats. Don't worry. We're good. We're good. We're good. The stuff is not there. Seats made of? Hey. Too many questions now. Come on. All right. So we're talking about using this guy, right? I think you guys remember how to do it. But remember that we spin it to select the radio at the top here at that little yellow arrow. Underneath that is where you put the radio that you want to fly. Okay? But remember, even though this right here is radio 251, when we fly to a VOR, we're not going to fly the 251 selection on that OBS there. Why? Because when you select a radio, so what I'm talking about is this. This is the 251 radio. We've determined that, right? It radiates from the VOR to where we are. So 251. Yes, got it. Okay. But what that means is, then some people say, well, I want to fly the 251 radio. Okay, and you said I have to put the radio under here, under the yellow little dot there that I have, right? Let's get some more light there. Okay, so here we go. Let's go this way. 251. Let's go. Boom. Right? We're good. No. You were good, or you would be good this way if you're flying also from the VOR, meaning outbound from the VOR. When you're flying away from the VOR, right, you want to fly the same thing that's coming from the VOR. And what's coming from the VOR? A radio. Okay, so flying from a VOR, fly a radio. Do this. But today, that's not what we want to do, is it? Today, we want to fly the opposite. We want to fly towards the VOR. We want to be on the 251 radio, yes. But I want to fly towards the VOR. Okay. If that's your case, when you're flying to a VOR, then you do not select the radio at the top. You select the opposite. You put that 251 at the bottom here. That's why you have that little yellow dot at the bottom, right? Is because you want to be able to read what's at the bottom too. So all you do is spin it around until 251 is at the top, or if you want to think about it this way, spin it so the opposite of 251, which is 071, is at the top. Okay, so let's do that. There we go. There we go. 251 is at the bottom, 071 at the top. Now this instrument is set up to intercept that radio 251, but fly it to the VOR. Okay? All right. Yes, Santi. Yes. Yes, that is true. It has already been added to the checklist for the next install, but yeah. Aye. You're talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, aye, but you are talking about what I just said, right? Where do you put the radio, at the top or at the bottom? Is that it? Yeah? Checklist for installing. Well, Ninja, when you have to install the amount of software that I have to install, and remember, I had to do it quite a few times. A few times, yes. And yeah, you end up with a checklist because you end up forgetting stuff, and then you kick yourself for forgetting stuff. So yeah, interesting. Yes, putting in 312. Okay, but you probably want to fly. Yes, I got it. The 132. Ibrahim, what's up, man? There we go. Hit up our Discord. I like it. Gamer Torres, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Only 17 and a half times. Yeah, I got you, yes. Sorry, a larger life. I missed that question. Omnidirectional bearing selector. Omnidirectional because you can select, right? So you can select it for any direction possible. That's omnidirectional. It works in any direction because you can select the bearing, right? And then it's a bearing selector. So bearing is another way. Well, it isn't a radio. A radio is the radio signal, right, coming out of the VOR that we've been talking about. Okay. What is a bearing? Bearing is a term you use more when you fly NDBs. And we haven't covered NDBs yet, right? We're going to have lots of lessons. That's why I'm here. But it's used more when you use it when you're flying NDBs. It is also used for VORs. But it's used when people talk about flying from or to. So you're going to hear people say, course is to, bearing is from. Course is to, bearing is from. Okay?
Booms_SYS just resubscribed for 6 months.
Let's go. Let's go indeed, buddy. That's awesome. Hey, Commander Decode, also 6 months. Commander, let's go, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I can't get over to... Yeah, right. So Ninja has the trick there that has been happening or helping some people. That's awesome, Booms. Thank you, man. Time flies. Yes, it does, buddy. Yes, it does. Yes, Commander Decode. Me too. Me too, buddy. Okay, so... Course to, bearing from. So when you say the 251 radio, the radio we determined here for our trip, right? And you fly that radio outbound. So let's say on our way back to Tambor, right? I'm going to bring it up so we can think about it again. So let's say that we get to Arenal, we drop him off. We're now flying back. We fly over the VOR. Now we're flying the last leg. We're flying back to Tambor. We're flying on the 251 radio once again. Same radio we flew in. But now our heading is 251, right? And our course there, our OBS would be set to 251 because we'd be flying from, right? But then we could also say, I'm flying the 251 bearing from the TIO VOR. When we fly to the VOR, our first leg of the day today, when we fly to the VOR, we're going to fly the 071 or the 71 course to the VOR. See what I'm saying? I'm saying this slow. I'm repeating a lot of stuff because this can get really confusing. If you don't get it right the first couple of times you hear, you learn it. So it's always course to a VOR, bearing from. And radios are always from because they radiate out of the VOR. All right. Okay, clear now. Got it. So much more sense. Okay, good. It's clicking, guys. It's starting to click. That's nice. That is nice. Lee, I can only imagine, man. That's super frustrating. Try that. Hey, Amika, what's up? Clicks. Good morning, 40. Hello, sir. Ah, I just remembered one thing, too. Hold on. All right. Hey, Amika, I'm doing great. Thanks. How are you? Volkaistos, hello. I keep hearing OBS as Open Broadcaster Software, not Omnidirectional Bearing Selector. Guess I need to spend less time on Twitch and more time in the sim. As I mean, funny and true, but you make a good point, right? People hear OBS a lot with streaming and stuff, so it's quite possible that there's people here when I say OBS, they may be confused, right? So thanks for making that distinction, because it's true, right? OBS is the software we use here to stream, but it's also the name of the Omnidirectional Bearing Selector. This guy right here, the one instrument in the entire panel that's going to allow us to find first San Jose and then RNO. Now, that's not really true. That's not really true. I need one more instrument here to find RNO or Tambor on the way back. Which one is that? Which one is that? Which one is that? DME. That's right. Why do I need DME? Why do I need DME? By the way, do you have any news? Supermoto Dave, I get up early now just to watch your stream. Oh my god, buddy. I turned you into a morning person. Let's go. Thanks, man. Let's see. That's awesome. Yeah, 40. Fingers crossed too, man. Payhan, if I understood right, we'll fly to TIO, to VOR, and to MRAN from. Correct. That is correct. Payhan, perfect. And Andreas, Flying Fox, hey Andreas, says, I always remember from equals radio because of the R, and to equals track. Which is another term that we haven't talked about, right? Radio, track, course, bearing. Ah! Yeah. Welcome to aviation. Rocco, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. So that's awesome, Supermoto Dave. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I still think it's crazy that people want to watch me, right? So when I hear stuff like that, it's mind-blowing. That's amazing, man. Extreme Poho. Hello, how is Hamburg? How is Hamburg today? I'm doing well, thank you. This is like listening to talk radio, but it doesn't make my blood boil. That's great, DC. That's awesome, man. Yes, booms. It's raining like every day. Hey, look. Just like here. Just like here. Don't worry. Just like here. Oh, my God. Yeah, Marlon, there you go. That's it. It's straight from Tambor to TIO to RNO. Right? And as Payhan was saying, guys, we've been talking about this whole nomenclature, which we have to get right. It is going to be to when we're flying to the TIO VOR. Very true, right? But then, by the way, it's El Coco. The name of this VOR is El Coco. But then it's going to be from when we fly up to RNO because we're flying from the VOR. So we're going to be on the 324 radio bearing from the VOR. And at that point, what are we going to have? Let's see if you guys got it. What are we going to have dialed up? Whoops. What are we going to have dialed up in our instrument panel when we're flying that? I'll let you look once more. Look at that leg from El Coco up to RNO. What's going to be in my OBS, in my Omnidirectional Bearing Selector? Now, what's up, man? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Mr. 90, that is the frequency. That is the frequency of the VOR, which is correct. You are correct. It's 1157. What I mean is my OBS is where I select what radio I want to fly from the VOR or what course I want to fly to the VOR. Slayer, what's up, man? Thanks for the follow. Got to love radio aids, Nav, right? Are you moving on to point later on, Merlin? I don't know what point-to-point is. Ah, Mr. 90324. Bingo. Almost, Johnny. Almost. So what? Well, almost. Why not 144, guys? My favorite talk show. That's amazing. You know what? Twitch does that, Slayer. I've heard the, yeah. I've heard people say that. Ah, Booms. That'd be fun, man. That'd be fun. So, let's go back to Johnny. Johnny, Mr. 90 got it right. It was 324, right? Johnny thought it was the opposite, 144, which, by the way, it's a mistake that every pilot makes. Every pilot makes a mistake, right? 144, Raspy, yeah, you guys are getting it. 144, Johnny, 144 would be the radio from the VOR here out. Actually, let me do this. Oh, I thought I could add just a radio. And maybe I can, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm just going to add another waypoint. Basically, if we do the opposite, like over there, like that, right? So the VOR is still there. It's a little hard to see, but it's still there. The 144 from the VOR, think about the VOR ring here, Johnny. North is this line pointing up here, right? So that's 0. Each hash mark here is 10 degrees. So that's the north or 0 radio. That's the 010, the 10 degree radio, 20 degree radio, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 degree radio, right? That's east. And we get to 144 here. The 144 is going that way, right? That's the radio coming out of the VOR. So if what our waypoint is actually here is that VOR, there we go, back to it, right? Then look at the VOR and think about the radio being a line coming out from the center of the VOR going up towards RNL. And where does it cross that circle, the blue magnetic compass circle? Well, it crosses it if this is north and that's east, right? 90, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 270. Yeah, that's west. Okay, 280, 290, 300, 310, 324. 324 is the radio coming out of the VOR going that way. So, remember, when we fly from the VOR, we have to have set the correct, the radio up top. When we're flying to the VOR, it's not the radio, it's the reciprocal of the radio, which we call course to the VOR. And we're going to get in flight. Got it, Johnny. Perfect. We're going to get in flight and do it again, right? Oh, yeah, the from and to. Absolutely, yeah. Listen, guys, VOR is tough to get because of this stuff, right? Well, how VORs work is actually kind of simple. But because of the confusion of the from and the to and that needle moving, it's really, really easy to get confused. So I'm taking it slow. I'm taking it easy. Let me know if you have any questions on anything, right? Let's see. So Raspy Square says, for the VOR to sense correctly, you want the OBS to be selected to the course you are actually wanting to fly on the top. You can select 144 and fly northwest bound, but the instrument will indicate everything backwards. And Raspy, I'm going to show that, right? So if you didn't understand what Raspy just said, or if it confused you, don't worry. Don't worry. Parking lot that idea, and we're going to show that in flight. We're going to show why is it important to have the correct selection up top. All right? Cool. So guys, I think we're ready for takeoff. I think we figured out what we need to do, right? We have to dial up the correct VOR here. We're going to do it now, but we're not expecting to pick up this VOR from the ground. We're 50 miles away from it, right? On the ground. Don't expect to pick up a VOR like this. It might happen, but don't expect to. Once we're in the air, anywhere 1,000 to 3,000 feet, yeah, we should be picking it up, right? So let's dial it up. It's 1157. There we go, right? And of course, the aircraft's not even on, so nothing's going to happen right now. By the way, the Pixie with a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, man. Woo! What? 6 months, bud. 6 months? Is that what it says there? Let's go. Let's go. Yes, Jefferson, that's right. That's right. VORs are VHF. In the VHF part of the frequency. If you've ever heard that term, VHF or HF, UHF. What does that mean, right? Well, those are different parts of the radio spectrum. They're just different frequencies. That's all they are. They're basically a set of frequencies, right? So VHF goes from like this frequency to this frequency. UHF is from this frequency to this frequency. That's all it is. But VHF signal, the frequencies in that VHF band are such that you need to have line of sight, like Jefferson said. That means that the antenna transmitting it, whatever it is, and the antenna receiving it have to be able to see each other. Line of sight. Now, they may be 500 kilometers apart, right? But maybe they're in space 500 kilometers apart and there's nothing in between them. No problem. Completely clear communication, right? Now put some terrain here on Earth and keep those 500 kilometers. Put some terrain in between these antennas. Forget about it. You can't talk to them. You can't receive that anymore. There are other parts of the radio frequency band that can actually, well, they don't really penetrate terrain. They just bounce off the atmosphere and come back down. So they can actually go up above a mountain, bounce off the upper layers of the atmosphere, come back down, and be received by that antenna that is not in the direct line of sight of the transmitting antenna. But that's not VHF. VHF, the stuff that we use in aircraft, both for communications, for voice communications, but also for navigation, has to have direct line of sight. That's why you cannot receive a VOR on the ground when you're far away, even if there's no mountains. It's because of the curvature of the Earth. I'm sorry to tell some of you, but the Earth is actually a sphere. Well, not exactly. It's an oblong spheroid. How about that? Lies! Lies! I knew it. I knew I had some of you guys amongst my community. It's round like a plate. Oh my God, yes. If you believe in science. Oh, Blade, thank you. Thank you, Merlin. Thought it was a cube. Shaushki might as well be for those people, man. Might as well be. Hey, Jay Weasel, how's it going, man? It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. The biggest bug in flight sim. You guys are hilarious, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so. Let's get in flight. Yeah, I think it's best. Let's get in flight, and then I'll start showing the sensing and the reverse sensing. It's a lot easier to see it than to just talk about it, right? Okay, so let's do this. All right, so let's get battery on. Nice. You know, I don't have a voltmeter. I know I do in the iPad, but that's it's kind of cheating. So I don't have a voltmeter. I just have to hope I have enough voltage to turn the aircraft on, right? So what I'm going to do is just have a quick look here at the aircraft. I need to get some more fuel. I believe I need to get some more fuel here to have enough fuel to come back and reserves. So we'll do some refueling. But everything else looks okay. And I think I'm ready to start her up. So before I start, let's get some more fuel. So let me see. Let's think about this. Little Nav Map can help me here. So we have less than 200 miles round trip. We don't know if we're going to be able to get back into Tambor because of the weather. Probably not, right? But let's say that's our objective. So we're going to take enough fuel for that. So 200 miles. This plane cruises at about 125 knots or so. That's less than 2 hours, right? So let's take 3.5 hours of fuel. I think is plenty for this flight. I think it's more than plenty, right? So 3.5 hours. This plane, I think, uses up about worst case scenario, right? Let's go conservative. 12 gallons per hour, because we're going to be climbing for a bit, so we're going to use a little more. Because we use less than 12. We use about 10, 9 at cruise. But let's say we average 12 for 3.5 hours. Well, that's going to be 42 gallons. So we need 42 gallons of fuel in the aircraft. What do we have? What do we have right now? Right now, it's in liters, right? But we have about 120 liters. 120 liters. 120 liters, I need 42 gallons, so I'm gonna need about... I'm gonna go with 200 liters just to be safe. Just to be safe. I know it's actually more than the 42 gallons, but like I said, I just want to be safe. About there. All right. Good. Good, good, good. So we need to put the passengers in here, right? So I have me as the pilot. The passenger, the husband wants to sit up front. Okay, that's fine. So we'll put him up front, and he says he weighs 85 kilos. Okay. And the wife is sitting in the back, and she says she weighs 60 kilos. All right. Booms. Nah, he says he's a budding aviator, and he wants to see what I do up here. Yeah, Santi. That was... Yeah, so like I said, 200 liters is more, but I'm, again, being conservative, right? Whenever I do conversions in my mind, instead of on the calculator, like, for example, I know that 1 liter is not 4 gallons. I know it's 3.8 something, right? But I do 4 gallons. Oh, sorry, 4 liters for a gallon, because I want to be conservative, right? You see what I'm saying? So when I did 42 gallons, I'm like, okay, so 168, if I do it by 4, I'm going to go 200 liters and take, you know, extra. Can I send you a link? Actually, Gamer, no mods here, I think? No, the mods are here. Mods were here. Scooter was here, Fort was here. Hey, Two-Tone, what's up, man? Yes. I'm here, yeah, see? Gamer, careful, man. You don't want to say the mods aren't here when they're here. They take that very personally. Strike one! Alright, alright, alright. Okay, so we're good here. We have 1,092 kilos out of 12. Out of 1,247. So, we're pretty close to max takeoff weight here, right? We don't have 4 passengers, but we do have a lot of fuel. Because I want to. Look at the weather. So, yeah, we're good, but we're going to be, you know, on the heavy side. Okay. All right. Let's get her started. So, clear prop. Oh, close that right away. Nobody out there. Okay, and I'm already on the right tank. I saw that. Parking brake needs to be set. Prop full forward. Mixtures needs to be full forward too. Fuel pump's going to come on. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough. Okay. Still clear prop out there. Let's turn it. Okay. There we go. There's 1,000. And we got oil pressure. Okay. Oil temperature is still down, but that's all right. Actually, I'm going to bring it up to 1,500 because I need to warm up the engine quite quickly. We don't have a long taxi at all, right? Don't have a long taxi at all. So, we need the oil ready to go by the time we get here for takeoff. Hey, guys! Nice, let's go. Let's go. Hello, Kat, what's up? How's it going? Johnny, after watching the Air Safety Institute video posted by DC in Discord, I'm shook about making fuel assumptions. Which one was it, Johnny? I can't recall. But Johnny, do you see what I did here? So basically, and guys, let's now be clear about this. Look, we have loaded here a accurate profile for this Piper in here, okay? So that means that, look, the flight, according to Little Nav Map, the flight would take 47 minutes there. Let's say that I circle for 10 minutes trying to land, right? Can't find a hole in the weather. So that's 57 minutes, okay? And I'm not rounding now, I'm doing exactly. I'm gonna circle for 10, 57 minutes. Then I'm gonna fly back, okay? When I fly back, look at the top here. The wind is pretty quiet. So I'm gonna assume it's gonna be 50 minutes back instead of 47 just because of the wind, right? Okay, so that 50 minutes back plus the 57 is an hour and 47 again. Okay, hour 47, and I'm back in Tambor, right? This plane uses about 10 gallons per hour on average. Okay, so that's, let's call that an hour and 47, right? Let's call that 17 gallons. 18 gallons. Right? Right now I have 200 liters. 200 liters in gallons exactly is 52. 52 gallons. I have a lot of extra fuel. A lot of extra fuel. Right? Because I want to. But it's good. It's good. Ah, thanks, Scooter. Oh, nice. Hey, let's see. When is that for? Oh, the pending release, the version 5. Check it out. Check it out. Hey, gamer, thank you. Scooter, you too. Appreciate that, guys. Check it out. Look at this. So, the GTN 750 will now be correctly restored in aircraft load. Okay, long press for home button now supported. Other minor fit. Nice. Door decal not attached to door fixed. Okay, OBS 1 course card animation fixed. I didn't know there was an animation issue here. Does anybody know what the animation is? Is it rotating the wrong way? It could be. Could be. ICAO code updated to P28R. What do they have it as? The KN62 unit overlapping. Yeah, I know, right, Ford? Overlapping with GNS configuration selected fixed. Okay, I didn't know there was an overlap there. Nav and GPS outputs to OBS 1 to HSI and Autopilot now require the associated radio GPS to be powered on and a valid signal tuned. Oh, I did. Oh, right now it doesn't then. Interesting. Booms, agreed. Agreed. Right? I know, Ford, they're awesome. Just Flight is awesome. Nav GPS source switch added, replacing the hidden click spot. So there is a click spot. What? I didn't know. Where's the click spot? Blanking panel added in place of GPS 100 when the GTN 750 configuration selected. Okay, nice. Nice. Yeah, aye, they're incredible, right? COM2 and F2 volume inoperative with GTN 750 selected. Fixed, okay? And whitetail navigation light fixed. Oh yeah, remember, I think we were missing a white light. Remember, that walk around actually caught that. Oh, support. Got it, I haven't used their support. Oh, I see. I think you're saying I will always support Just Flight. What you wrote was IL always suppler. You're on your phone, aren't you? No, dude, you don't have to apologize. It's awesome. It gives everybody a little chuckle. It's great. Let's see. Just to the left of where the switch is for Nav 1 or 2 is for the AP. Oh, let me see. Ah, type on phone. Yeah, I got you, That's awesome. That's awesome. Santiago. Alright, just to the left of where the switch is for Nav 1 and 2 on the Autopilot. Okay, let's see that. How's the... Oh, yeah, look at this. Oil temperature is doing great. For the Autopilot... Hold on. Oh, yeah, Autopilot. I remember now. I was like, where's the Autopilot? Oh, here. So, Nav 1 and 2. I think that's this guy? Oh, there. There. Okay. There. Ah, okay, got it. And then to the left of it? Or to the right, okay. Switch Nav GPS mode to GPS. Interesting. Cool. Cool. And now they have an actual switch instead of a click spot. That's Just Flight. Awesome. That is the correct response. Nice. Nice. Yeah, thanks, guys. By the way, I was talking to Scott Phillips from Just Flight. Hey, Mackie, thanks for the follow. Talking to Scott Phillips, and great news. They are bringing the 146 to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, not next week, but they are bringing it. Ah, that's going to be an amazing aircraft to have for this. Yes. Old school airliner. It's going to be awesome. In development. Mr. 90, in development. Alright, guys. So, I didn't turn the alternator on this whole time. Yay, ProPilot. Hey, beacon on. Oh, let's go. Jesus Christ. Alright. Let's take it easy. Mucho take it easy, yeah? Okay, let's get these guys are all on this. Actually, can stay in standby for now. That's fine. Left that in ADF. Okay, we don't need that. Let's do a little altimeter setting. Okay, once, twice. Nice. This is aligned with my magnetic compass. Yes. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get some lights on. And there we go. That would be awesome, Santi. That would be awesome. Ah, yeah, it's Trek IR. Hey, Julia, sorry, man, I missed your question there for a sec. Yeah, it's Trek IR. Now, it is Trek IR, but there's a little bit of tape right there, because Abby had a small step on the track clip incident, and there was only so much that Super Glue could do. Thanks, DC. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Oh, really, Svero? Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. All right, guys. I think that's it. I think we need to get out of here. Let's go flaps 10. There we go. I'm going to do a quick engine check as I'm stopped here. So even though I'm on parking brakes, I still step on the brakes just in case. Let's go 2,000 RPMs. Now that the engine is warm, I have no qualms doing that. There we go. Drop 1 meg. Look at the RPM. It was at like 2030, by the way. Drop to 970. Drop to the right. Virtually the same thing. Back to both. Let's try the mixture. Look at the EGT. It's definitely working. Yep. Let's cycle the prop. Don't want to drop more than 400 RPMs. There's once. There's 2 or twice. And 3 times. Governor is good. Let's check the idle now. Make sure she idles well. Yeah, DC, each division being 100, right? 610 or so on the RPM. 600. Yeah, 600. Idle. 590. Yeah, she's a little low on the idle as usual. But that's typical of this aircraft. And that's the thing, guys. When you fly the same aircraft over and over, you learn the quirks about the aircraft. Not even quirks, like you learn how that aircraft is. Every aircraft out there is a certain way, right? Even identical aircraft, they're not really identical. They behave slightly different. They're machines, and they're complex machines. And they have personalities, for sure. So, you learn, for example, this engine always has a low idle. But it's alright. You've flown enough that you know it's not going to quit on you, you know? I mean, it may, but not more than any other, you know? Sneaky, what's up, buddy? We're arranging for that. Well, arranging. I'm trying, Sneaky. I'm trying. By the way, guys. By the way, unfortunately, Katie Pilot has to be in the simulator on Thursday. Katie and Jeppesen, who is here, we're going to be the featured devs. Well, Jeppesen is featured dev. Katie is another great streamer here on Twitch. Katie Pilot, right? I think you guys know her. If you don't, I'm pointing. Go check her out. But Katie has to be in the sim. She's a real airline pilot, so she has to be in the sim for her company on Thursday. She can't be here on stream, so we're gonna have to reschedule that for next week. We're picking the day now, actually, so we'll reschedule that for next week, which means this Thursday. Then I'm gonna announce it on Discord, but we're gonna do a flight review. It's gonna be the review finally of the Jabiru by Iris Simulation, and it's gonna be in Australia because it's an Australian aircraft. Ah, yes. All right. Okay, so engine is good. The flaps are set. Fuel is set. We have loads of fuel. I love to see that on a day like this. The engine is looking good. Temperatures are good. Everything is looking good. All right. Park and brake off, and let's get out of here. Okay, so obviously safety briefing for the passengers would have already been completed even before I started the engine, right? I would have shown them where the fire extinguisher is, how to open the door, all that kind of stuff. And now we get out of here. Trying not to hit anybody. Okay. All right, guys, let's get out of here. And by the way, I noticed, look, I'm already receiving that radio. But remember, that update is going to fix that, right? So it sounds like right now it's receiving it no matter what. No matter what. All right, now, we are not exactly centered on it as we thought we were going to be, right? And that's okay. We don't worry about that on the ground. Let's get in the air and then we'll figure it out. And I know that because look at that white line. It's kind of bent to the right. Instead of being straight up and down, it's kind of bent to the right. That means we're not centered on the radio. All right. Bad decision, this flight. But, you know, that's what some pilots do out there. So let's see what happens. Transponder goes to alt. Landing light, fuel pump, strobes. Pitot heat, let's see what temperature. Oh no, it's very warm. We don't need pitot heat for now. We will if it continues raining like this all the way to 10,000 feet. But for now, we're okay. I know, Mr. 90, exactly, right? Exactly. Okay, so holding her on the brakes, 2,000 RPMs. Just checking that the engine is looking good still. Yes, off the brakes and full power. I didn't do a flight control check. That was a mistake. Okay, engine's still good. Airspeed is alive. There's 60 knots. And let's go flying. Alright, gear up. Alright. Climbing straight out because that's water, right? Flaps up. I did, Hawker. Yes, I did. Hey, Hawker, how's it going, man? How was that raid yesterday, buddy? How was that raid? Alright, guys, we're going to now trim her up. Climbing at... I'm going to climb at 80. I don't want to climb too slow, but I also have to bring the power back to 25 inches. Manifold pressure, there we go. And bring that prop back to 2,500 RPMs. I always remember there's a tall mountain just off the coast there, so I'm going to keep on going here, pretty much runway heading until I get to about 1,500 feet before I turn. Still trimming her. Little right rudder action. About that much, might do it. Oh, hello. Hello. Looking a little better already. Could be that this rain is just on the coast here, you know. In 1 second, Hawker. I'll have more time for the chat in a second here. Just trying to get the trim to work well. We're not there yet. There's 80. Temperature is dropping, but we're still pretty decent. Not worried about icing just yet. Let's see how wet these clouds are here. Let's see how wet they are. Ooh, nice. That raid was fantastic. Thanks again. Flight Safety DFW is a beautiful facility. I did my Falcon 20 initial there. Oh, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Falcon 20, huh? Nice. Little freight dog action. I'm going back on my my 120 heading here. Yeah, so no, Scooter, not without a gun to my head, right? This isn't smart. Not only, look, we're picking up rain again, so this could turn into ice pretty soon here. Pretty soon. We're just crossing. Oh no, that's 20 degrees. Sorry, I thought that was 10. We're fine for now. So let's keep on going here, and then actually I think I'm already high enough. I'm gonna start my left turn. Because now we are pretty much on the course to the VOR 071. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn to 071. And that's going to be, hopefully, right, our heading in. Now, I say hopefully because it depends on the wind. So, we're going to see really what happens if we keep the 071 heading here. Notice, by the way, how she's not climbing like a bat out of hell because I'm heavy, right? I have a lot of fuel today. A lot of fuel. Plus the 2 passengers. So yeah, Scooter would never launch into something like this willingly. But if I did with that gun in my head, then I would make sure that I have enough fuel, like I did, right? And then make sure, for example, that I'm leaving a wide berth between the known terrain that I know here of the area. Ah, 135 passenger, really? Dude, that's amazing. I didn't know they were still using that stuff for 135, because, you know, most of them have been converted to freighters now. The thing was a tank. Yes, it is, dude. Yes, it is. It's amazing. Had a GNS XLS, yeah, and an old Trimble GPS. That's awesome. That's awesome, Hawker. Hey, that's great, dude. That is great. Yeah, so I worked at Flight Safety here in Columbus for 15 years. Well, I did a stint at Flight Safety up in Toledo, and Teterboro, but most of it was here in Columbus. Hey, Queen, Kitty Monster, thanks for the follow. And yeah, and I've been full-time streamer now for, man, it's going on 8 months, guys. Can you believe it? That's crazy. That's actually 8 months already. Not going on, it's 8 months already. All right, I keep feeding it power to keep the manifold pressure at 25 as we climb. We don't have a turbo in this aircraft, right? No turbo in the aircraft means we got to be doing that ourselves. And of course, I start leaning the mixture as we start getting close to 3,000 feet or so, which is about now. So a little quick look at the EGT. Let's go. See what kind of peak we can get here. It's not going to be very high. It's going to be about there. There we go. And I'm going to go 50 degrees rich of peak just to keep the... man, I still need more, right? There we go. Just to keep the best power instead of best economy here. I got loads of fuel. I'm not too worried about fuel economy at this moment, right? Let me see if the trim is working. That was a little too much right rudder. Let's do a little less. See if that works. Yeah, thanks, Hawker. It's been working out, man. It's great. The channel has been working out. People are fantastic. It's been an incredible experience, man. Incredible experience. Oh, look at that. Let's go. That's awesome. That's really cool. This is what I learned during my instrument training. Didn't have GPS or even autopilot in the 172s I learned. Yeah, Spectre, there's autopilot here, but I'm not using it because I disabled the HSI. Whoops, watch that heading. Speaking of which, right? I disabled the HSI. I just have a directional gyro, right? So I don't have the capability of a heading bug. So I can't. I have an autopilot with a heading mode, but it doesn't have a heading bug to follow. So yeah, it's all manual right now. And yeah, this is the navigation that I learned too. Okay, so speaking of navigation, let's talk about that. Oh, Queen Kitty Monster knows Hawker Driver. I see. Crusader says you're one of the most entertaining interactive streamers I've watched. Always a pleasure. I think he's talking to you, Hawker. I think he's talking to Hawker Driver. Crusader, thank you very, very much, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So this whole time, guys, I haven't really looked at my OBS, my omnidirectional bearing selector, not open broadcaster software, right? I keep waffling here between left and right because I haven't gotten the right or the rudder trim to be exactly right. So I keep having to correct with the ailerons. She's not stable in heading right now. But in pitch, I'm doing all right. With those 80 knots there. A little more power, there we go. Now she's pretty much maxed out and only getting 25 inches, right? We're back in the clouds a little bit. How's my temp? We're good. 17 degrees. No icing concerns for now. It is Costa Rica, but the higher you go, the colder it gets, right? So you are always worried about fuel. Or sorry, worried about icing. Okay, So, this whole time, even though I haven't looked at my OBS, hello Shaushki, nice CRJ buddy. Even though I haven't looked at my OBS, look, we are still pretty much on course, right? I haven't moved this is still set to 071 because I'm flying to the VOR, and I have the 2 indication, which is great news. It means I'm going in the right direction. But also the fact that this needle here is almost vertical, right? Vertical is 070 right now, but it's almost vertical, means that I'm very close to the course. Also, because this is set correctly, meaning I'm flying to the VOR, so I have the 2 course up top, it means that the sensing of the needle is correct and not reversed. What does that mean? That means this. You see how the needle is not centered? It's almost centered, but it's not. It's actually, looks like it's offset a little bit to the left, right? To my left. Okay. That means I have to fly towards it if I want to correct my path and be exactly on the 071. So, I'm going to turn left here. 071 was the course I needed to fly to. Remember that? But it tells me that I'm not exactly there. So instead of flying 071, I'm going to fly something like a 060. There we go. And see if that starts to fix my problem. You see what I mean? Now, if that didn't make sense, that's what you need to tell me. That's a Corsair Shaushki. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Alright, so let me get back on a 060 here. But if I'm right, this needle is going to eventually be exactly over the center here. Let's see. Yes, DC, I can. I can. I'm trying to do it manually, you know, just you know me. Oops, it's 060 that I want. And also, guys, this whole time I haven't looked at my DME, my distance, right? Because remember, we had 48 miles to go, but this instrument right here is not going to show me any distance. It's just showing me if I'm left or right of course. And by the way, right now, right, if I have to go left to get the course, that means the course is to my left. I'm right of the course. You want to see that? Boom. Yep. I am to the right, but I'm also correcting. Oops. Yeah, I probably should turn the autopilot on because it's wobbling too much. It's going to get in the way of the lesson. All right. Okay, so let me turn autopilot on. I'll show you. So we're going to go mode here is going to go to nav, and we're going to turn AP on. And now the autopilot's going to follow whatever this is, right? Notice now it's more centered because we're closer to that radio. Now I'm not exactly on it, but I'm closer. And let's see what this autopilot will do. I want to see how it's gonna hunt for a little bit, I think, but let's see if it can actually capture this radio and follow it in. It's gonna keep on trying here for a second, let it settle down, and in the meantime I need to look at my DME over here. So look, my DME is this instrument. Janice, what's up? Oh.
Just resubscribed for 6 months. Already 6 months.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Thank you, Janice. Thank you so much. Alright, so my distance to the station is also important. And here's my distance right now, 32.3. Oh my god, Janice, let's go! Let's go! Thank you so much. Oh, you're awesome, Janice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're currently 32 miles, 31 miles, and getting closer, right? Okay, so it looks like I'm pretty much on course. Still 31 miles out. All right, we're getting there, and it looks like it's settled here, but it's not agreeing with little nav map. Aspen, let's go, buddy. Thank you very much. That I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Alright, so Zvero was saying for NavOBS mode, it is also important that the front course for the autopilot comes from the heading bug at the DG. The CDI is only for the course deviation, so both need to be on the same course, at least if the underlying sim supports this. Let me think about this, Zvero. For nav OBS mode. Oh my god, you guys kicked off a hype train. Let's go! Oops, gloops. Thank you very much, man. Kicking off that hype train. Let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Just resubscribed for 5 months. Thanks again for your great stream.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Oh my god, guys. Jesus. Oh my god, two-tone DC, let's go. Hey, wholesome trip. Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. So, interestingly, guys, look, the data in Little Navmap isn't exactly matching the data in the sim. You see that? We are flying towards the VOR, but not on what Little Navmap thinks is the 071 radio, which is interesting. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. Level 4 hype train already. Jeez. We're working on a level 4. Let's go. Let's go. If you're at third point on the right side of center, for example, what means? Ah, yes. Julius, good question. Good question. No, I don't think that's what he meant. DC. Noise Boy Mike, let's go. 1,000 bits, buddy. You got us that level 4 hype train. Let's go, Mike. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Oh my god, that's awesome. I need to make more coffee. That's fantastic. Oh my! Whoa! Look at your new badge, Mike. Look at that, buddy. 1,000 bits badge. Not exactly, Julius. Hey, Scott. What's up, man? So, stand by. So, okay, let me get back to that question. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh my god, there's more donations. Santi, hold on. The question was, each point is 20 degrees. No, Julius, sorry. On the OBS, each point is 2 degrees. Right here on the bottom, each point is 2 degrees. So, right now, for example, let me turn off the autopilot so it doesn't turn. Well, actually, it will just start to turn and I'll turn it back. So watch. I have 071 set. If I go to 073, you should see the needle go to one of the dots. Okay? There. Now 075, second dot. Now it's going a little too much. 77 should be the third dot. It's already at the fourth. Yeah, so it's not working. There's a little parallax going on here too. But, sorry, the autopilot's like, man, what do you want me to follow, dude? Poor autopilot. Poor autopilot. Whoa, Gamer Taurus with 1,500 bits. So, Julius, yeah, each dot there is 2 degrees. Sorry, buddy. This is insane, guys. My god. And a Doix one, I think. Thanks for the follow, Santi. Those 200 bits. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Ah, Kyber. My white line doesn't move no matter what I change it to. Okay, Kyber. So, do you see this window right here, Kyber? Right here, that's currently black? Do you happen to have a flag just like this one in that window? Oh my god! Star Fury cheering 600 bits and getting us to 82% of a level 5 hype train! Star Fury, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Ah, Kyber, that means... Yes, Julius, you're very welcome. That means you're not receiving the VOR. Okay? So, this flag right here is for my glide slope. Because, oh my god, let's go, Citizen! 98% Citizen, it got us to 98%. That's awesome. Gifting out a tier 1 sub to Julian. Hey Julian, what's up, man? BT Monster getting us over the line. Let's go. Let's go. You guys are the best community ever, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, back to the lesson. It's so hard. Hey Dave, what's up, man? Hello, Angry Shoehorn. No, Angry One Horn. Different horn. Hey man, thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. You picked up the VOR at 40. Okay. DME is working, but yeah, I have the flag. Okay, so Kyber. The DME, just to make sure, the DME also has a frequency here, position where you can dial up your own frequency. Make sure it's not there. Make sure it's in remote, and make sure you have 1157 here on Nav1, whatever aircraft you're flying. And then, if you're still getting a flag here, that means you're not receiving the signal. Why do I have a flag here? Well, the flag here, guys, is for the glide slope. Because I don't have an ILS dialed in, the glide slope has no signal, so it says, hey, there's a problem here. That's all right. I'm using it for VOR navigation. Don't care about glide slope. But this flag here, I care about, right? Watch this. If I go to a different frequency, I get a flag there. If I go back to the VOR, it receives the VOR, flag goes away, and I get the 2. So that, Kyber, is what happens is... Okay, DME is working, but you have the flag. Okay, that's all set. You are in the JF Piper. Okay, so confirm also that you have it turned on. Because look, if I turn this off, then I don't receive the VOR anymore. Make sure your radio is on. Make sure it's plugged in. Make sure it's plugged in, Kyber. It's on, okay. And Kyber, are you next to us? By the way, guys, the weather is opening up, huh? We may get to RNL after all. We may get to RNL after all. I need to lean a little bit. Yep. Oh yeah, I was losing some power there. Losing some power there. DC! Buddy, let's go. Thank you very much, man. Choo-choo indeed. Choo-choo indeed. We're gonna level off at 10,000. We got another 2,000 to go, just about, right? Just about. Thank you, DC. That's amazing, buddy. Yeah, Kyber, what's your altitude? Okay, to my back right. Oh, I see you. Oh yeah, you're pretty high there too. You're pretty high there. Huh. Kyber, here's another thing I'm thinking. Do you have Navigraph? Do you have Navigraph? Okay. Have you installed Navigraph nav data into your sim? Meaning, have you replaced the sim data with Navigraph data? The sim is amazing, right? Look at this. Oh, I have the yeah, hold on. I gotta go this way. Then it doesn't get crazy. Oh, come on. Come on, Microsoft. This is insane. Hey, Moose, I see you down there, buddy. Oh, you're just skimming the ground, Moose. I see you down there, buddy. Navigraph installed. Okay. Kyber, I'm running out of things to think about here. Hey, Philly Cheese, how's it going, buddy? We took off from Tambor, let me show you. In Costa Rica, we're taking a couple of tourists from Tambor to Arenal. And we're using this as VOR navigation lesson 2, right? So took off, intercepted the radio, which is a little bit off from Little Nav Map, flying over San Jose, the El Coco VOR, and then we're gonna intercept the 324 radio bearing from El Coco VOR, and it flies over Arenal after 36 nautical miles of flight. That's what you missed, bud. Spitfire, what's up, man? Scooter. Actually, to be honest, from what I've seen, X-Plane can look like this, but you have to spend an inordinate amount of time downloading orthos, installing them. By the way, I think P3D can look like this too if you have the right sceneries. I think, at least from this altitude. It's just, guys, this is out of the box, man. Out of the box. Come on. Right? Come on. All right, what's our distance? What's our vector? Roger, roger. 14.5 nautical miles. We got 1,000 feet to go. 1,000 feet to go. I'm going to trim up a little bit. She's been climbing at 85 or so. We're going to go to 80. Yes, Goblin Zoo, so far. I know, I'm gonna go get a coffee right now, guys. I just want to trim her up at 80. leave her there, and then go. And then we can talk about reverse sensing, which, by the way, you would always have. It's good to know, right? You're like, well, the people that know reverse sensing are like, yeah, it's good to know, but I mean, you know, you're never going to fly reverse sensing. You will if you're flying a back course. You will. All right, let's check out the mixture here. Do a little more perfect leaning here. Let's see where we are. Oh yeah, we could lean a lot more there. There's the peak, and we go to 50. Right about there. Right about there. Nice. Should be max power climb now. Yeah, Hawker. It's a net zero effort ortho. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Man. Let's go, right? Let's go. Hey, Captain, what's up, man? The red light flashing in the middle center console next to the 7. This right here is your interrogation light. What that means is this is the transponder. Transponder is a little equipment. It's a little box, right? And what it does is it senses radar pulses. ATC has radar on the ground. You know those big antennas you see at airports, large antennas, and they're usually rotating, right? They're sweeping the sky. Those are ground-based radar. That's how ATC can see you. So they know you're there because radar bounces off your aircraft and comes back to that antenna, right? And they know, okay, there's an aircraft there. They may not know who it is, but there's an aircraft there. Great. Okay. Well, then somebody came up with a brilliant idea of, hey, what if we had a box in the aircraft that could sense when this radar beam got to the aircraft, right? It's got to bounce back. I got it. But as it gets to the aircraft, the box senses it and says, ooh, before you send that signal back, I'm gonna add a little data to it, right? And what it will do is it will put this code in there, and if you have more advanced type versions of the box, it can even include other things like your altitude, can include other things beyond that too, but let's just stick with altitude for now. So it puts this code in here and your altitude in a signal that goes back to that radar, right? So now when ATC gets that bounce off your aircraft, they know you're there because they got the bounce. But now they also know a code, and they're the ones that gave you the code, so now they know who you are, right? And they happen to know your altitude too. So this here means the box has felt, it sensed a radar signal arriving at the aircraft, and that it's going to encode and send the code and the altitude, the transponder code. So if I change this code to that, now that's the code that's going back every signal. The full is 2,000 in the US, is, wait, 1,200, I don't know, guys. There's quite a few depending on the regulatory authorities. I never know. It's 7,000 in Europe. There's 1,200. I think it's US 1,200. 2,000 is a lot of ICAO countries. It's a mess. It's a mess. All right, getting to our cruise altitude of 10,000 feet. Nice. Nice. So, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Hey, Pastor, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, so Philly Cheese, let me know if that made sense, man. Understood, thanks. I guess I never paid attention to that in other planes that have red flashing light. Yeah, it's actually, to be very pedantic here, and very pedantic, it's actually orange in the real instrument. It shows red here, it's orange. But it's a light that every pilot knows. Here we go, guys, we're about to level off. It's a light that every pilot knows, because if they've flown old aircraft, because every aircraft out there from a certain age, that's what the transponder looked like. They were all the same. They were all the same. Hello, Yaregar, or Jahegar. What's up, man? Thanks for the follow. Guys, look at the size of some of these mountains in Costa Rica. Costa Rica, active volcanoes around here. Active volcanoes. This is no joke. Rennes, good question. Good question. So, let me show you a chart, okay? This is called, this by the way is from Scribrary, okay? And it's called time of useful consciousness, okay? The time of useful consciousness, or effective performance time, is the period of elapsed time from the interruption of normal air supply to or exposure to an oxygen poor environment until the time when the ability to function usefully is likely to be lost, at which point an affected individual would no longer be capable of taking normal corrective or protective action. It is not when you pass out at all. Not at all. It's when you just become a dummy, basically. That's what hypoxia will do. You start, like, for example, doing simple math, like addition, like add 10 plus 30, and you're like, hold on, you can't do the math. Like, that's what this means, right? So check out the altitudes here. Even at 15,000, it can be 30 minutes or more, so you have to be there for a while, but you can start to feel some of these symptoms, right? And then, of course, it gets quicker and quicker as you, yeah, that's right, Smarter Every Day has a beautiful video about it. So there you go. Look at 50,000 feet. So obviously you're sitting inside a pressurized cabin at 50,000 feet, I hope. But if you have an explosive decompression, right? All the air in the cabin just goes, leaves. You have 6 to 9 seconds to put your oxygen mask back on before you pass out. That one, you will pass out. You pass out. And there's other unpleasant things that happen. If you have explosive decompression at this altitude, all the air in your body wants to leave your body. And it will, in a hurry. But that includes, for example, maybe pockets of air that were trapped inside fillings in your teeth. Yeah, your teeth, or at least your fillings, may explode. Yeah. Dougal, most do. Most militaries do, and it's not just so they can experience it. There's a very good reason to do it. I've been through hypoxia training myself, right? And the reason that it's important to do it, and yes, guys, I see that I'm 200 feet high there. I'm trying to correct. The reason it's so important to go through it, if you can, as a pilot, is because hypoxia can have all kinds of different symptoms. Like, for example, your lips may turn blue, or your fingernails may turn blue, or you may lose your ability to perceive the saturation of color, right? So you can see color, but everything gets really dull and pastel. Hold on. She's turning because I think we're over the VOR, right? Yep, we're over the VOR, guys. So now we have to take that autopilot off, and we're gonna manually do this, right? So remember little nav map? The next radio we're gonna fly from now is 324. Okay, 324. So she's on a left turn already. So let's dial in the 324. So let's go over here, dial up 324. Oh, the other way. (324), and now we're gonna turn to a heading of about 300 to capture that 324 because we are already past it, right? If I zoom in over here, look, we already passed it because we flew over the VOR, and that's okay. That's okay. So we're turning to come back here and then follow that. All right? So there we go. There's the radio, and we're gonna go to maybe 300 here. Although, I'm gonna see what the autopilot does. I would do a heading of 300 for this intercept. Let's see what the autopilot does. I'm gonna turn the autopilot on. There we go. Let's see what it decides. So, all kinds of different symptoms, okay? But any given person usually only has 1 to 3 of those symptoms, and they're different between every person, meaning some people may get the nails, some people may lose color distinction, some people may get blurred or slurred speech. It really depends. So, going through the training allows you to learn your own symptoms And that allows you, hopefully, to identify a potential hypoxic situation before it actually happens by noticing that, hey, I'm getting those symptoms again. Right? Ah, look at Pastor. I still have my first test boards from hyperbaric chamber. Even my name is unreadable. He couldn't write down his name. Now, it's crazy because you're awake. You're fully awake. I mean, you're slow, but you're awake. Whoa! Where did that come from? I saw lightning up ahead, but like in that cloud, wow. Wow. Yeah, so you're awake, right? You may be happy. A lot of people get euphoric. So knowing those symptoms is a big deal. Knowing those symptoms is a very big deal. So if you can ever go through training like that, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Zeus. Yeah, Santi, I just got a lightning bolt, like almost, I mean, it was very close. It was in front of us, but it was very close, almost horizontal, like coming up from like somewhere there. It was weird. It looks like we're gonna poke the hole here, so I'm gonna stay on this heading. It's pretty decent. We're on the radio now. Let's look at a little nav map. See what the autopilot did there? Yeah, and look, the radio is offset a little bit from little nav map again. So there's a little discrepancy here, guys, going on. Now look, my top of descent's over here, so we're gonna see if this works out or not. We'll see. And by the way, I forgot, Larger Life, was it you that was gonna go grocery shopping? Yeah, Pastor, that's what I was saying, right? The fillings, if you have air bubbles inside your fillings, air trapped inside your fillings, they can explode. It's super nice. Scooter, that's awesome. I mean, you're slow, but you're awake. Whoa! Nice. That was a good one. Yeah, there you go, 40. There you go. It just gets you ready for your dangers later in life. Alright, she's still climbing. I gotta trim her a little bit more here. Still not trimmed. Still not trimmed. But man, let's just, oof, look at this. Whoa! More lightning. More lightning. Yeah, we definitely have storms around, huh? Definitely have. Look at how dark. Look how dark those look. That's a lot of water in there. That's a storm. That's a storm cloud. I mean, yeah, the lightning is also the telltale sign, but definite storm clouds right there. Now, look, it looks better up ahead, huh? Looks a little better up ahead, so who knows? Who knows, guys? Oh my god, I had forgotten about the lightning bug. That's awesome. We're gonna have like so much history, right? Hey, you know what we should do? Guys, at the 1 year anniversary in September of this year, we should do a retrospective. We should do a retrospective of all the things that we went through this first year of streaming. Yep, that's right. Or Julius, or, and then one statute mile is what, guys? 5,280 feet? I'm gonna guess 5,280. One statute mile in feet. Yep, 5,280. Wow, I still remember that. God, that's awful. That's a great idea, isn't it, Ninja? To do like a whole retrospective, because like, hey, we went through some pain with this sim, didn't we? We went through some pain. Callie, that's awesome. The most dangerous part of it is not realizing your ability is impaired. That's exactly it. That's why it's good to go through training, so you know what your impairments are. You can look out for those. Always be careful in flying high altitudes and don't be complacent. That's right. Now, when I was a young lad, I'd go up to 15,000 feet and fly for hours, and be completely okay, right? But I was running, I was super fit, like, yeah. At my current age and amount of sedentary behavior that has crept into my life, yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. I was in Brazil, yeah. Yep. Santi, yeah. Yeah, it was with the Cub, wasn't it? over the Rockies, I think it was. That makes you tougher, Rafael. You got it. Oh wow, DC! I didn't know that it had that in the new watch. You need to run fast, yeah, Zumiter. You got that right. I was robbed at gunpoint twice by age 12 in Brazil. Yay! What's up, 777? Welcome back. Guys, I'm gonna make a coffee before we get there. Look, I still have a little bit of time before the top of descent, right? Yeah, Queen Kitty. It's, Brazil is an adventure, man. Brazil is an adventure. Yeah, Rennis. I don't blame you, buddy. It's a great place to visit if you know somebody there. Can keep you safe, away from the bad places. Amazing place in many ways. But man, living there is rough. Yeah, Rafael, exactly. Yeah, of course, Boo. I'm from São José dos Campos. How about I show it to you? São Paulo, Rio, São José dos Campos. Hometown of Embraer. So if you get to the airport, yeah, you got it, DC. Yeah, so look, this is Embraer. All of this is Embraer right here. By the way, parked here. Oh, nice. Okay, let's go. Look, right here. One of the first Brasilias. In a Varig 727. Oh. And then you have production aircraft here. More production aircraft, lots of production, basically. Yeah, this is all Embraer here, all of it. All right, what's my distance? 18. Okay, time for coffee. All right, let's put that water on. Alright, so let me ask again. Who was gonna take a break when I took a break and go grocery shopping? Oh, that would be amazing, Rennis. That would be amazing. Yeah, in Oawa, it is 1080p. Well, storms are kind of behind us. That's nice. Looks way better up ahead, huh? And I think that's the RNL volcano there that we're going to. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Almost at our top of descent. The Lonely Mountain. Yeah, larger. Okay, thanks, aye. That's what I thought. So larger. I am running slightly behind. If you're here still, I don't know if you're here or not, buddy. I'm looking at chat intensely. Don't see messages from you. Agreed, 777. I have a break the whole week, but going to hit some fuzzy yellow balls later. Nice, Pastor. Ah, he's here. Okay, so Larger, I'm sorry, man. I'm a little behind. Break would be right now normally, but we still have to find RNO, and it looks like I'll be able to land there. So I'm going to plan my break for after I land. So we probably are still about 20 minutes away from it. I'm trying to figure out how many minutes, but I don't know how to use the little nav map that well. I don't know if it tells me. It should tell me. Does anybody know where? Okay, cool, Larger. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, so... Right. So in Oawa, here's my advice. I have zero experience running this sim in 4K. I've only run it in 1080p, right? Nice, that was awesome, Shaushki. I saw the shadow as he passed over. That was great. Let me go get the coffee, otherwise it'll be top of descent. And hold on. All right. So I have no experience running it in 4K, right? But... Oh, top of descent already behind us. Whew! All right, let's go down. So, what I know, though, is that places like, for example, Digital Foundry, right? A very respected YouTube channel where they do a lot of video game analysis. They call Microsoft Flight Simulator the new Crysis. And if you know anything about games, Crysis for a long time was the game that would melt any PC. No matter how crazy the PC setup was, Crysis would still make, you know, the thing crawl to its knees and run at 10 frames per second. Yeah, exactly, Queen Katie. There was a phrase, but can you run Crysis, right? Right. Flight Sim is the new Crysis. So there is no, from what I understand, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, from what I understand, well, I'm descending very fast right now. I'm trying to correct my mistake on the top of descent. There is no rig today that can run this sim at 4K and 60 frames per second. We're not there yet. This sim is built for the future. So if you're gonna run at 4K, right, if you wanna run at 4K, reduce your render scaling. What is that doing? It's actually not 4K anymore, right? It's downsizing the 4K to a lower resolution so that you can have better frames, right? But that's the compromise that, from what I understand, we have to make right now. Yeah, DC, what I meant is with everything, sorry, I should have said, this sim, with everything maxed out, 4K, nothing can run it at 60 frames per second, right? Yeah, Scooter, run it at 200p. Vex, it could be. It could be. I mean, I don't think it's perfectly optimized. You know, I think it's decent, but I don't think it's perfect. Guys, by the way, did you see on Little Nav Map? I don't know if you saw this. Look at the bottom here. Look at how well it predicted our climb. You see the red line is us, the gray line is what it thought we would do, right? I mean, it got sloppy after here, but I think it was me not leaning the mixture properly enough. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right, we're almost there. I need to start looking for it. Shadow, I'm sorry, but I need the yoke now, so you're gonna have to move, sweetie. Thank you. All the memory optimization is in the Xbox fork per Yorg, and they're going to merge the codebase at some point soon for the summer release. Interesting, Speednut. That would make sense, wouldn't it? But it is interesting. Oh, hello! Look at this! Oh my god, I honestly... It was the first place I went to look, because in Little Nav Map it showed that it was off to my right. You see that? And I see it. Like, that's it. That's it, okay. Well, these tourists are lucky because we're going to be able to make it. Alright, let's take this autopilot out of here. There we go. Now, this wouldn't be pleasant, going down at 1,500, 2,000 feet per minute. In real life, don't do this. It's not good for your ears. This is when you feel like the pressure... Basically, your ears can't equalize the pressure as fast as the pressure is changing outside. Do you know what I mean? What? DC, are you joking? Yeah, Speednut, I know, right? Yeah, in Oahu, exactly. DC. I know, buddy, I know. Yeah, Two-Tone, I think that's it. I think the X12, guys, is basically future-proofing. It's future-proofing, you know? Man, what a pretty area. Can you look at how fertile the ground is around here, right? How green things are. It's incredible. Incredible. And the amount of agriculture, too, tells you that, you know, you can grow anything, anywhere kind of thing. All right, we need to figure out what the wind is. So, you know, real life, right? Real life, you get to a place like this, there's no radio. There's no windsock in most of these places. You need to figure out what the wind direction is. So, typically, you look for smoke, right? Somewhere around here, somebody has a fire burning, and there's a little smoke coming up somewhere, and you can kind of pick it up from there. But our sim doesn't have smoke simulation yet. I say yet because I hope they will add it. DCS does. DCS does a really good job with that. So for now, I'm kind of flying around, seeing if there is, by chance, a windsock as we get lower and closer to the airport. Looks like Mechanical Madness is coming in to land on the opposite direction that I'm at, so I'm on downwind for the same landing. Nice. And of course, you'd be making calls, right? This is an uncontrolled field, but you'd be making calls on Unicom that, you know, your position, where you're at, and what your intentions are. As I mean, just from my attempts, as I mean, just from my attempts. Okay, so this is also pretty low. There's RNL volcano on the nose. It's an active volcano. Beautiful place. I've stayed at a resort around here once. It was pretty awesome. All right, so yeah, we're gonna land on the direction that Moose Knuckle and Mechanical did. So we end up at the parking spot at the end of the landing row. Yes, Moose, but I don't have it. All right, first notch of flaps. $90 knots. I'm gonna roll in. I'm gonna keep this one tight. I'm gonna go gear down. Three green. Great news. Second notch of flaps, slowing to 80. There's some trees to the left of final. I gotta watch for that. There's 80. Roll final. See if I can figure out the wind. Third notch of flaps. 70 knots. Alright, looks like it's uphill. A little bit, at least where you touch is uphill. Alright, mains are down. Looks like it's a slight wind from the right. Put the nose down, there we go. Flaps up in case we need to brake. Woo! That glint. Getting on the brakes. You don't want to leave all the braking until the very end. There we go. There's a marshaller here on the left. I think we're going to follow the marshaller in. Looks like they were waiting for these tourists here. All done. No, no, I'm still crooked. No, I'm still crooked, buddy. There we go. I won't kill you. I won't kill you, okay? There we go. Parking brake is on. Fuel pump comes off. Strobes come off. Blending light can come off too. 1000 RPMs. There we go. Electronics come off. Okay, that's all it. And there we go. Now I did it all on the right tank. And that was actually on purpose, believe it or not. Because I want to... Hold on. There we go. Because I want to see if she has a lot of row induced by uneven fuel. So we'll see. Okay. Alternator off. Batteries off. And beacon comes off. Okay. Open the door. Let the passengers out. There we go. All right. We have arrived. We made it to Arenau. And so did you guys. Nice job, guys. Nice job, guys. We made it. Even though there was a lot of storms on the way, right? We're going to see now if we can make it back to Tambor. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be after the break, though. All right, guys. Time for a break. Hey, patouf pas devant. Hey, merci pour le follow. Yeah, mechanical. That was really cool, wasn't it? And guys, did you see? It, like, we were pretty much over the airport. I mean, we weren't. It was a little bit off. And I know that the sim has had some issues with the magnetic variance. So it could be that this shouldn't have been off, right? It should have been right over it. Look, if you look at little nav map, this is what I mean. Look at the radio 324 that we flew in, right? It's not exactly what little nav map thought it was. And little nav map is right because this map we know is right. So there is a little offset in the sim for some reason right now. And it's the same offset we saw here, look, right? Interesting, right? But even then, you can tell that, man, this got us to the airport. VOR, old school. We could do this in 1981. Very awesome. I don't know. I haven't looked it up, Vex. Haven't looked it up. I did, Kyber. That is Navigraph in Little Nav Map. Yes, I mean, exactly. All right, gamer. There you go, buddy. Thank you. VOR is awesome, right? Man, sounds like we got here just in time. Just in time, everybody. Oh my god. The famous FF Smugglers Den. Oh my god. All right, guys, time for a break. Let's roll an ad, please, mods, if you got it. If not, let me know. Let's make this a 15-minute break. So I'm going to start the break here. Let's round it up. So it's going to be 15:30. It's going to be 15:30 when we get back. You know what? Let's do a 20-minute break, guys. Larger Life has to get groceries. 20-minute break. It's going to be 15:35 when we come back. Yeah, DC, I asked the mods. I don't know if anybody... Oh, okay. Got it, Scooter. No worries, buddy. Hey, why not? We need to change that. Okay. All right, I'm going to run an ad. If you're not a subscriber, you're going to get an ad, which, hey, consider subscribing. Then you don't have to listen to this. But I think most people here are actually subscribers. So, you know. Yeah, I don't know why, Scooter. Why not, buddy? Why not? Weird. Anyways, guys, starting the break. I'll see you in 20 minutes. I think I'm actually going to stop the stream and start again so that people get an alert. You know what I mean? I think it's better that way. So I'll roll the credits and then come back 20 minutes from now at 11:35. Bring on the ad, says Rex Singleton. That's awesome. Yes. Moose. After the break, we're going to come back and fly the way back. We're going to see if we can find Tambor and land, given that weather.
617 just resubscribed for 2 months. Noise
Mike, thank you very much, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. There you go, Singleton. That's awesome. Now you're a subscriber, buddy. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. All right, guys. Enjoy your break. Enjoy your break. I'll see you in 20 minutes.